the only thing that really had me believing in energy like that, because I feel like when I lost him, I was kind of like, what the fuck? What's spirituality? What the fuck is, why would they take him if this was it just had me in super doubts of the whole spiritual world.
What is your belief towards death in regards to, do you have any thoughts on what happens after?
I think that what I want to believe and what I've kind of at least tricked myself to believe for this grieving experience, I would say it's just that like that the universe doesn't expel energy. Like where the energy, his energy is still here, whether it's in a person, whether it's in just the air, whether it's in, just proximity to where I'm at, just whatever, like I think that's been kind of the only thing that I've thought about happens after death. We had him cremated actually right down the street from my house. So, and crazy story about that is his sister, his father, and me were the ones who went into the cremation process. And that was fucking creepy. It just the smell of the place, the whole night, it was fucking weird. And I think I could put this out there, but long story short, Juan's older sister, who Juan was like this with, he was super, super close, always grew up with. They came out here to cremate the remains with me, and the husband of hers and her actually were trying for a kid for 6 months, and then the day of that it happened, and now she's pregnant with a kid. So I think that kind of made me believe in spirit, because they had been trying for a minute or whatever, and then once they came out here, the baby girl was conceived out here. She's 6 months now, but it was just fucking that made me have belief in energy, because Juan would have wanted nothing more than for his sister to have a baby girl. And so I think that in general speaks, volumes to energy.
The camera ain't zoomed up on me. I literally have goosebumps from that.
Yeah,
that's one of those things we're just talking about. It's like that. I mean, you could chalk it up to coincidence, but we choose to believe that. I'm with you on that, because come on. I mean, of course, anyone could just say, whatever, there's a coincidence. Sure. Okay, you could say that.
Right,
but
right.
fuck off.
Right. Yeah. And forgive me, I might have the dates wrong. Maybe they were trying for a year. Maybe they were trying for 10 days, but I just know that they wanted to have a kid. And then when they came out here, the baby was conceived, Either
way,
that's the only thing that really had me believing in energy like that, because I feel like when I lost him, I was kind of like, what the fuck? What's spirituality? What the fuck is, why would they take him if this was it just had me in super doubts of the whole spiritual world. But that kind of restored hope, and just a couple other things have happened since that I'm just like, okay, maybe I believe there's some type of, afterlife or something where they can guide you and things like that. But
that's the thing, when something like this, whether it's grief, loss, something shitty, it could go either direction. If someone has faith, it can drive them to no faith. If someone doesn't have faith, it can drive one way or the other. And then you said one word specifically. You said a couple words. You tricked yourself into believing this. Can you elaborate on that? Because it kind of makes sense to what you just said again, and I don't want to piece it together for you. But you were questioning spirituality, this or that, and were you trying to just you wanted to believe this for comfort that doesn't feel like he's gone?
I think it was more so I was just kind of in disbelief of it, for the fact that I'm like, if spirituality's real, if God's real, whatever your belief is, why would you take someone so pure? And I know there's a million answers for that, but in general, I was like, I want to believe that he's still spiritually around. I want to believe that he's responsible for a lot of things that are happening that I feel like he would make happen, So I think that's the tricking myself, where the part where I didn't see spirituality being real. I feel like that helped me kind of trick myself into it and get reconnected with spirituality and things like that,
So that process of getting to that, was there anything that happened that was like a switch hit, or are you still trying to flick that switch?
I don't think anything specifically. I think, the sister being pregnant, that's a big thing. I think that just a couple, I feel like spirit things that I've seen happen. Juan used to always, in the shower in the morning, he used to clap. I'm not going to clap because the mic, but he used to go, dude. I'm like, Juan, what the fuck are you clapping for in the morning? Always, every morning, clap his ass off. And then I was getting the grill from the neighbors because we were going to do like a celebration in my backyard and shit. And me and the two homies, Dolo and Cheddar, we were in the backyard, and we just hear the big 3 claps in the windows against their house. And I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, like, Juan, man, I was like, and then I went back in the house and there was 3 people in the house and I'm like, did you clap? Did you clap? Did you clap? And they're like, no. I'm like, I didn't hear that because we all heard it together. I was just like, that's crazy. So I think that kind of also helped me believe it. But there was no there was no just one thing that made it switch for me. I'm still kind of trying to, believe in spirits to the point that I once did again. But there's been a couple things like that helped me get back to that.
You find comfort and peace in it?
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Factual. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this, especially in this conversation, as this grows, and I'm happy to say it has been growing, you see more shit in the comments, and I mentioned this before, but it's interesting. I don't mind seeing, as long as everyone's being chill and not harassing anyone, seeing the different perspectives of what people believe, because that's fine. And I've seen so many people come at other people in the comment section and whoever the guest was about what their beliefs are, like whether it's spirituality, this or that, and people are so certain that something is or isn't and what they believe is right, which is fine. But it's interesting to me to like, how does it hurt you if someone else believes this?
100%.
As for me asking you, do you find peace and comfort? Then like, okay,
exactly,
and cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that is the most important thing. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good? And if it doesn't, it doesn't affect someone else, right?
It doesn't.
Your beliefs?
Yeah, exactly. I do tread lightly for that reason, because I don't know what people's beliefs are, but whatever I've witnessed, and what I believe or choose to believe, I choose to believe, But I don't have any like strong, firm beliefs on shit. I just feel like that's what I've felt so far spiritually, and that's what I've heard, and that type of thing.
Yeah, I wasn't too academic, because I probably didn't try as hard as I could have. But the one class that I did do well in, it was a history class, and we had to write a paper on certain schools, and the one I picked was the school of skepticism, and that was like the one class I got an A in because I was actually interested in it. Like, surprise, surprise. And that is kind of the approach I realized at that age of how I am today. I'm kind of like in the school of skepticism, where nothing's absolute. Like, you can have your beliefs, but I'm not so certain of certain things. Like, I don't know for sure, even though I may believe to my core, so to me it feels real, but like, I'm also like, all right, maybe there's other things out there. I don't know. We're going to know when we know. But whatever you believe in, as long as it's not hurting other people or fucking me up, and if it gives you peace and comfort,
100%.
Then, all right, word. Fucking, if it's working for you, then all right.
That's how I feel too. I don't need to be the fact checker or the person who's correct about what anyone believes. I'm just like,
you know what it is, I think, because I just thought of this now, but I think if someone else believes in something so passionately and they find someone else that believes in the opposite so passionately, that minimizes or defers their belief, and maybe they're wrong, and so then they start getting a little defensive on it, which I can understand. If you believe, you stand on a pillar that's so strong, sure, but like, I don't know, this is a weird ass world. We don't know until we don't know. We can read a book, but like, we don't know. Like, most of these things, so there's a lot of science and quantum physics and all that shit that could prove this or that, sure, that could pull you in a direction. But at the end of the day, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We're gonna find out. I'm kind of terrified, but excited, and at the same time.
What, of death?
I don't know about death. Kind of. I get a little freaked out about after, and I've always said this before again about whatever happens after. Like, forever is so long.
So long.
So it's like, what's up? Like, I guess if we're nothingness, then okay, we're not going to know. It's not going to matter. But if we are something, and say there's just hypothetically or whatever you believe in, there is something after this, we're just going to do that forever.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like, traffic on the 405 for 2 hours is like a torture. Like, I mean, hopefully it's better than that. But I'm just saying, like, the idea of forever and what happens next really gets me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I do enjoy talking about it and philosophizing about these things. But there's a certain point where I pass a line. I'm like, I can't. I don't. My mind gets weird.
Yeah, no, they better not have fucking 405 wherever we go.
Imagine there's traffic to heaven.
It's the same thing. I'll be pissed.
I'll make a U-turn. I'm going south.
No, for real. No, that's crazy.
So what does death mean to you now?
Hard turn. Yeah, I think what I believe now about Juan and his presence, I think that death means that you still stay in the universe, you still stay here, your energy is still. Yeah, I think that death is so much bigger than the absence of just like your life. Like, after Juan passed, for me, I really realized how much, no matter how accomplished you are here, or how accomplished you are, or how much you do this, or how much you do that, Juan left such a permanent energy in people's minds of who somebody could be, who Juan was. I'm just like, the energy of that never really dies. So I don't know if we ever really leave, but I don't know that there's a heaven and hell. I don't know. I don't think that it's like you go and meet the devil and shit, but like, yeah, I think that your spirit will still stay. Maybe nothing physical, but you'll be floating out here, guiding your people, giving people signs when they need it. I haven't really thought about it much, about what it means to me to, like, once I expire,
Imagine the devil is real and he's just like a super nice guy that everyone misunderstood for so long.
I doubt it. That motherfucker seemed cold.
Or hot, yeah.
No, but yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't even thought about like what it means to me really, but just based on what I think that Juan's doing and what he is now, I think that, yeah, I think the energy never dies, and I think you never really leave the universe. You're just kind of switching entities, if you would.
Yeah, I think Mr. Einstein said, well, energy cannot be created. I hope that's Einstein, because I'm going to sound really dumb if it's not. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So that is my go-to when people say, like, I don't believe in this or that. All I'm going to say is I'm going to put this on your plate, because I don't know the answer. But if we agree that energy cannot be created nor destroyed by much smarter people that figured that out.
Yeah.
We are energy. So we are made up of energy. It cannot be created, or destroyed. It can't be destroyed. We're not destroyed. Maybe we're not going to be in this meat bag. Right. We're not going to be whatever. Conscious is a whole other question. I don't know. But like the energy, like you said, it literally, scientifically is continuing on.
Absolutely. Like literally, yeah. There's not even a way like anyone who ever knew Juan can forever see the energy he was. They know what kind of entity he was when he was here. That in itself, that's energy in a mind, Like, I absolutely agree with that. I don't think we could destroy energy, and I don't think it's created. I think it's reused. So, yeah, with that being said, I think that we never really leave here, but, we are going to find out someday.